hopefully this works. I've had to try to record this and upload it like 3 different times and none of it has been working. So hopefully this is the move. Anyways, part 1. Basically, like, do I feel like after reading this book that I'm going to be a competent counselor? My thoughts on the book, things like that. First and foremost, this a good book. I genuinely enjoyed reading it. I thought I wasn't going to because it's just she's thick, okay? And I was like, look, I even annotated and everything. But no, it's a great book. And I do feel like I am more educated on the topic, whereas beforehand, like, I knew about it and I still felt comfortable, like, working with those kinds of clients with substance use disorders, but like, I wouldn't necessarily say that I was like fully prepared. And now I feel more prepared. I wouldn't say I'm like, I could be a substance use counselor now. Like, I don't think I'm that level, but I do think that like I'm more prepared to deal with it in like a day-to-day setting kind of a thing. For example, I have this client who came in and he really wanted to work on his cannabis usage. And at the end of the day, I'm still a counselor. Like, I feel confident enough to just be a counselor who also works with clients who have substance use disorders. So I was like, oh, like, okay, let's work on that. Like, let's start with some values comparison. And I was like, do your values, like, we made a list and all the things, we talked about them. And I was like, do your values line up with what you're doing with cannabis? Like, do you want to continue doing that? What's it going to do for your values? What's it doing against your values? All those things. And by the end, he was like, yeah, actually, I do for sure need to like uphold to my values, and I'm not. Obviously, like, he didn't just quit that moment, but we're working on it, and I feel confident in where it's at. And I felt better because I don't think I would have had that level of confidence to just do it so easily without the help of this class or the book. I think that like I still would have done an okay job, but I wouldn't have been comfortable with the topic. Whereas now I'm like comfortable with the topic and gonna do a good job. You know what I mean? So hopefully that answers the question. I will say, like, if they continue to have a problem and like they wanted more specific treatment, like, I am gonna refer them out. I don't think that I'm competent enough to be a substance use counselor. So I would probably refer them to one of those people. But yeah. Okay, part 2. Describe what co-occurring disorders is. That's when, an individual has 2 or more disorders existing at the same time. And that can affect them in many different ways. It can affect the way they live their everyday life. It can affect how they see themselves. It can affect how other people see them. It can cause them to have a certain identity and like want to live with it, but also maybe not. So it can really impact you in many different ways. And then there's this question about how would I describe myself professionally and my role as a therapist to my clients. I don't really know how this totally relates. And maybe I'm just not understanding. But when I give my professional disclosure statement, I kind of explain my role as a therapist and like who I am. I'm kind of like, well, I'm a person-centered counselor, which means I care about what you want to do in this space, and you run the sessions, and I am just here to make sure you stay on track of the goals that you set for yourself. I am never going to do something you don't want to do, kind of a thing. I value what you want to do the most. And that leads into my values and beliefs. I'm never going to really tell the client what my personal values and beliefs and ideas are, but I think they kind of get the idea that like I value them and I believe in what they want me to believe in, kind of a thing. And I think that comes with like the person-centered approach. I just like really live and breathe by it, like in terms of like letting the client do exactly what they want to do and believing what they want to believe. And like, there are things that my clients believe that I don't believe in, that I will still like be a part of for them because that's what they want. So yeah, I think that when you're giving your professional disclosure statement, that's when it comes out. Anyways, this video is getting really long, so I'm going to stop it now. Hope I answered the questions. If not, oh well, what can you do? I tried my best. So have a good rest of your day.